Hey y'all, welcome back, or welcome if you are new to my channel. My name is Sammy and this is my What's for Dinner video for this week. I just want to say thank you all so much for coming back for another What's for Dinner, and I really hope you enjoy this one. So let's get into cooking. First up is spinach stuffed chicken with roasted asparagus. This was a new recipe to the family, so we just figured we'd try it out, and it is a definite make. It is so good, y'all. So if you try any of these recipes this week, I would hope that you would try this one. Anyways, here is an overview of the ingredients that you will need to make this recipe, and I will also have the recipe linked below in my description box.
I'm by your side now.
First, we need to start off by going ahead and trimming up your chicken and getting it prepped and ready to go for the filling that goes inside of the chicken. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then I will come back here in just a little bit. Okay, so I have my chicken prepped. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my hands and then start on my olive oil. And this is a cool trick. If you open up your olive oil, turn that lid upside down and put it back into the top, and it kind of regulates the oil flow. Neat little trick I learned, so I just wanted to share it with you all. To make the filling for the inside of the chicken, you want to start off with a block of cream cheese, which I just stuck in the microwave to kind of soften it up a little bit. And then you want to cut up, I believe it was 1.5 cups of the baby spinach. So that's what I'm going to do here. Okay, so now we have the cream cheese out of the microwave. You want to go ahead and add in, yes, my favorite ingredient, the garlic, along with your spinach. And then you want to kind of mix that together with a little bit of mayonnaise. Not much, but this is what's going to keep your chicken moist. And then add your Parmesan cheese in with that, and then mix it all together really well where everything is incorporated. At this point, I really thought my camera was recording, but as you can see, it wasn't. So anyways, you're going to take that filling and stuff each of the chicken breast inside of it, and then drizzle the top of your chicken again with olive oil and the seasonings. And then I also topped mine with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Now we're going to go ahead and get the asparagus ready for the side for this evening, and I just cut the bottoms off and drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil, and then salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and I believe it was Cavender's that I put on there. And then you also just want to cover this with foil, and then I ended up putting both of them in the oven at the same time, same temperature, so it worked out perfectly. Alright guys, here we go. Here's the finished product. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you try one thing out of any of the dishes that I make, I hope you will give this one a try. It is so good. Alright y'all, here is the meal all plated up, and this was by far probably one of my favorites, so it will definitely be made again. Hope y'all enjoy it. Alright y'all, up next is the 3-packet pot roast and sides. Here are the ingredients that you will need to make this dish, and this was before I left for work one morning this week, so you will see my coffee cup sitting off to the side. But so if you need an easy recipe during the week, go ahead and try this one out. It is so yummy, and it is complete comfort food all the way around. Plus, once you put everything in the crock pot, you set it and forget it until after you get home. So here I'm just going to go ahead and prep my onion. I always layer it in the bottom of the crock pot, and of course I do spray my crock pot. So once that is done, you want to go ahead and slice up all your butter and get that ready. It will take a whole stick. Don't panic, y'all, but we love butter over here. But if you don't, you can always alter it. But this is how I cook it, and it comes out so tender.
I have tried, oh I have tried.
Alright, so once you have the onion and the butters prepped, you want to go ahead and make the 3-packet blend. So just go ahead and take all 3 packets and dump it into a measuring cup with 1 cup of water, and that is an Italian dressing, a brown gravy, and a ranch dressing mix. Then just set it to the side until you have everything in the crock pot. You want to start by layering your butter and then put in your onions. And then of course you put your roast on top of that, and then you repeat the layers. But you do have to season your roast, and that's what I'm going to do right here. So I just put, of course, Cavenders, Tony's, and I don't know if I put garlic powder and onion powder, but you'll see if I do. Okay, so once you have that one side seasoned, that's when you want to lift it up and flip it upside down to where you can season the other side.
Out of all my mistakes, hurting you is the worst. I admit I was wrong. There's only one thing to do, the last thing I wanna do. I know I have to let you go.
Okay, so all the butter and onions are on there now, and this is where you want to go ahead and pour your seasoning mix all over the roast. And right here, y'all, this is just a little trick I do. I just seal my lid with a little bit of aluminum foil, and it kind of keeps in all that moisture. That way nothing leaks out. And I cook that for the whole time I'm at work, 8 to 9 hours on low. And this is after I got home. Don't that just look so good, y'all? Now I'm just going to go ahead and prep some potatoes for mashed potatoes. And also go ahead and get my green beans ready. I start out with a little bit of butter, some garlic, and then after that melts together and cooks for just a little bit, that's when I go ahead and add in my 2 cans of, I also, these were just regular cut green beans. That's what I had in my pantry, so that's what I used.
Without any direction, had a line so many times, but
and in my green beans, I always add a little bit of bacon bits. And then I also put some, well, a little bit of soy sauce, not too much because you don't want them too salty. And then some brown sugar. And then once all that is in there, also some pepper. Don't forget the pepper. You have to have it. Anyways, after that, just go ahead and stir everything together and then put the lid on and let them simmer while you are cooking your potatoes. Alright, y'all, the potatoes are done. So when I make mine, I usually use heavy cream, but I didn't have any today, so I just went ahead and substituted it for sour cream and then some regular milk. Sometimes I put mayonnaise in mine, it just depends, but this night I went ahead and just used sour cream and milk in mine. And of course, you know, salt, pepper, or any other seasoning that you'd want to put in them. But anyways, I will bring you back when it's all done.
big mistakes, it's just the way I am. That's why you have to know. Yeah.
Alright guys, here's just an overview of the roast, the mashed potatoes, and I do leave the skins on my potatoes too, by the way. And then here are the green beans. So I'm just going to go ahead and plate this all up, and boom, there you go guys. Here is the finished plate. And let me tell you something, you will not regret making this one. So if you give it a try, let me know. Send me a message, leave me a comment.
Me, without me. Oh.
Up next is also a new recipe. This is Fiesta chicken casserole. Here is an overview of the ingredients that you will need to make this dish, and then it also said you could just use like a cooked rotisserie chicken, so if you were kind of shorter on time, by all means do that, which next time I make it, I'll probably go ahead and do that. And just to let you all know, I did decide to go ahead and use a little bit of taco seasoning that I had up in my pantry as well, because I felt like it needed something a little bit more. So just go ahead and start off by prepping your chicken and getting it in the pan, and you just of course cook it until it's done. And then I went ahead, and these chunks were rather, you know, on the larger side. So once it was done, I wanted to go ahead and just chop those up. While the chicken's cooking, go ahead and get your noodles going, and here's where you'll see me trying to chop that up, but I ended up having to put that in my food processor, which you see right here. because I wanted it in smaller pieces. That's why I was saying a rotisserie chicken would be better. Now to make the sauce that goes in here, you want to start with a cup of sour cream, a cup of any kind of salsa you prefer, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. And also, like I said, I did add some taco seasoning, and you will see that here in just a little bit. Once everything is in the bowl, you want to stir to combine.
I hear the sound of empty streets. Yesterday is gone to sleep. So all that's left.
Now right here I have my chicken and my sauce sitting to the side so I could get my pasta prepped with my drained and rinsed black beans and then the drained corn. And then here's where I realized I was running out of room. I was really trying to keep this in the same pan to where I wouldn't have as many dishes to wash, but it didn't work. So here we go, putting it into a larger bowl. Oh Lord, sometimes you never learn, but that's okay. But anyways, once you get that in there, you mix that well, and then that's when you add in your sauce and the chicken, along with some of the shredded cheese, which you'll see here in just a little bit. But you want to put half the bag in with this, and then half the bag is to top it after it's in the baking dish. Make sure you spray your baking dish because you don't want anything to stick to it and have a harder cleanup. So here I am adding that cheese in, and then we want to go ahead and pour it into a 9x13, and then just go ahead and get that all smoothed out and everything, and then you want to top it with your cheese.
Making echoes as we walk. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made up place that
also, another little neat trick is to spray the top of your aluminum foil with a little bit of baking spray before you put that on your baking dish, especially if you have a dish topped with cheese, because it keeps it from sticking. So that's what I did here. And then you just want to put it in a 350 oven for about 25 minutes, I believe. And then after it's done, take that foil off. And there it is. And then you want to go ahead and put it back into the broiler. That way it gets all golden and crispy, like right here. So it is completely done now, and I'm going to go ahead and plate that up. But I did lose a little bit of footage, but that's okay because I did get the end result. So here we go, guys. And I just topped ours with a little bit of sour cream, some salsa, and some guacamole with a little bit of cilantro on top. Here it is, and it was really pretty good, but next time I might make a little bit extra sauce to put into the noodles. It was a little bit on the drier side, but that's all right because you have the toppings. But if you make it, I hope you enjoy it, y'all. Plus, it's something a little bit different on Taco Tuesday. Last but not least, guys, we are going to go ahead and make an easy dinner: copycat McRibs and fries. These are the ingredients you will need to make this dinner, and y'all, it turned out really fantastic. I just followed the directions on the back of the Banquet rib patties.
I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax. All your problems will fade if you.
Alright, so here I'm just going to go ahead and get my pan ready for my fries. I just baked them in the oven this night along with my McRib patties. But to let you all know, I do heat them up in the microwave first because they do come frozen. And I'm talking about the McRibs, not the fries. But anyways, I kind of defrost them for like 7 minutes. And then it cuts the cook time in the oven in half. And on summer nights, that's awesome. The less time that oven's on is the better. So I'm just going to go ahead and season up my fries while the rib patties are in the microwave, and then they go both in the oven at the same time. And here I'm just showing you the box, and then I'm going to show you the directions on the back as well.
A good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. We are all about.
Now while they're both in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and prep all my toppings. So I'm just going to get my mandolin out. And y'all, I know I have a guard. Don't get on to me, but I was really careful this night, so I didn't, hurt myself. But anyways, you go ahead and prep your onions, and then next you want to do it, go ahead and get your pickles out. And I put those on a napkin because, y'all, my oldest one didn't want the pickle juice getting on his onions. Even though he likes them both, he just didn't want pickles on his McRib. So this is how I compromised. But anyways, when everything gets done, I'll bring you back. But here I'm just going to go ahead and get my bread ready with some Sweet Baby Ray's, which is my favorite. And then I'll lay the onions down, and then we'll go ahead and get the McRibs out and assemble the sandwich. And I will show y'all the finished plate here in just a minute.
I'm counting on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes.
Oh, and I will tell y'all that these are a lot smaller than what I was thinking. So we had to put 2 on each of those little steak buns. Look how tiny them things are. It's like, but they're good. So anyways, it does take 2 per patty, or 1.5, however you want to do it. I used 2. And here is the finished plate, y'all. I really hope you enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner, and that you all come back for the next one. Bye, y'all.
Standing underneath the lights,